morning. I'm back in my studio. I'm just doing a little catch up, see what I've been doing lately. It's, been a while, as usual. I'm going to show you what's in my studio at the moment, what I've been painting, what I've been doing. I'm varnishing some stuff at the moment, so I thought that's a good time to show you around, see what I've been doing. So, this is my current studio situation. So this is I think I mentioned in my last video that I'm going to get a new table. This is my new table that I now have in the middle of my studio, which is so good. As you can see, I've already filled it with, CRAP, but it's so good to have. That was a little table I usually work on, but to have this much space to just spread out, like I've got like packaging stuff on this side, I can sort of package prints and things over here, I've got some painting stuff there, I'm varnishing things here. It's huge. It takes up like a good portion of my studio, but I still have room to walk all the way around it like this. Yeah, so there's heaps of space. It looks in this video cramped, but it's actually not. There's a lot of room. But yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm super happy with it. So what I'm doing at the moment is varnishing some stuff. This piece has been sold, and so I've just grabbed some varnish and given it a bit of a coat of varnish. So that's just drying. I've also been varnishing these guys, which are some new pieces that I've done. This one here, I haven't put varnish on this one yet. You can see the difference between varnish and no varnish. So this is just the straight acrylic paint, which has like pretty much a matte kind of finish to it. It does depend on the brand of paint you use. Some of them are a bit more glossy than the others, but this is just generally matte. And then once you varnish it, obviously these are still wet, so it's shiny, but once you varnish it, you then seal the canvas and the paint, and everything is sealed in behind that varnish, so that if the painting needs to be dusted down or wiped for any reason, the paint and everything is protected, the canvas is protected. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So this has got really fun details. I'm really having fun at the moment playing around with mark making and scratching and details, and also playing with light. So having like a little backlit paintings. It's my jam at the moment. Same with this one down here. This guy hasn't been varnished yet. He's next, but just really loving playing with light. Like I really like how much the sun is in this piece. It's just a warm, sunny day, and you're just having a bit of a meander down the path. I've got these ones here as well. So I've been playing around with some different color palettes. So normally, let me see. See over there, my color palettes are usually quite bright, but I have been playing around with some more muted colors lately, and I'm really enjoying exploring some not quite so saturated colors and sort of mixing them with saturated colors, but having some more muted natural kind of browns as well. So there's that one, and then this bigger one behind it, which I really like as well. I love that puddle on the path, the reflections. This has got quite a lot of different sort of scraping textures as well, and mark making in it. Yeah, I really like that one. It's just got a nice kind of just after the storm feeling, like as you'd had like a thunderstorm, and that sky is still a little bit of that weird hazy kind of orangey color, but the sun's sort of peeking out. So yeah, there's the one. This one here is like in a little mini series of sort of tangled branches. So I really like that one. Well, again, playing around a lot with scraping back and mark making and a bit of, paint dribbling. Just having fun. This is actually a sketchbook where I've actually sketched out a few of these pieces. So that's just, this is the puddle one I kind of had. So it was originally a reference photo that I had, but the path wasn't quite this large, so I kind of had to extend the path and sort of see how that would work compositionally. So that's that one. There's a few others in here. These are the colours that I was kind of working with as well. So I've got, I sort of changed over to alizarin crimson as my red. Normally I'm using a more straight magenta. but the alizarin crimson has a bit more of a warmth to it. Been using a lot of green gold and sap green as well, Prussian blue to get these more muted blues instead of phthalo blue. Sorry, it's really noisy. Yeah, so normally I use a lot of phthalo blue, but it's a very vibrant colour. Prussian blue is very similar to phthalo blue, except it has a bit of black in it. So it means that a lot of the colours that you mix get quite muted. And yeah, you get some really pretty sort of colours with that. So yeah, there's again just some sketches that I did. Some 5-minute studies. Just kind of working on values for that. Yeah, some more colour studies. So what have we got here? We've got naphthol crimson, cerulean blue, burnt sienna, phthalo blue and yellow ochre. So I was obviously playing around with some more muted colours with that too. Sorry, you can probably hear kookaburras in the background. Could this video get any more Australian? Yeah, some more playing around. And these are some more paintings I've done. These ones are on timber board, so on mounted panels. I really like that timber surface. You can really sort of get in there and scrape back a lot and create really interesting sort of marks without sort of, you know, worrying about damaging and punching through a canvas. You can be a bit more aggressive with these boards, so that's fun. So these are varnished, so if I angle it too much, you'll get too much of a reflection, but the varnish is really nice for sort of bringing out the colours as well and making everything just a bit more vibrant. And then there's this guy here. So, yeah, and if you're wondering what varnish I'm using, because I know I'm going to get 10 billion questions asking me, Claire, what varnish are you using? Claire, what varnish? Hey, what varnish is it? It's this varnish. It's Matisse Final Varnish Gloss Finish. It's actually a terps-based varnish, so it's not water-based, it's terps-based. But it's nice and it's really thin, like it's, if I go like this, you'll see, it's actually like it's a very runny varnish. And so it's sort of self-levels, like you don't, sometimes with varnishes you get a bit of a brush mark, but this, once you brush it down, you'll see it's totally flat. The finish is just, there's very little brush marks. The only brush strokes you see is actually the painting itself. The varnish doesn't really leave any mark at all. So, and I usually only put down one coat as well. It doesn't need heaps of coats. One is more than enough. And I just brush it on with a regular brush, and that's it. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I just found these guys tucked under here as well. Hang on, let me just get them out. These are just some, again, random sort of composition type sketches that I did. Just getting an sort of, you know, I do these as like little warm-ups. They only take me maybe 10 minutes. This is something that I recommend a lot of my students do as well. Often after or during a class, I'll have people ask, oh, you know, it's, how do you get like looser, you know, without it taking forever? And I just tell people, paint a lot of small artworks really quickly. So painting on paper, so this is again just watercolor paper with acrylic. Just tape it down, make some really quick marks, some quick brushes of color, like even put a timer on your phone for like, you know, an hour, half an hour, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with. And once that timer is finished, that's it, the painting's done. Whether it's, you think it's finished or not, it's finished. And it's really good. You just keep doing them over and over again. And once that painting's finished, you just pick up another piece of paper and you just go again. And you'll just end up with all these like little studies. But, you know, even if you don't do anything with them, it's still pushing you towards loosening up, and it's still forcing you to be really expressive and, you know, conscious of brush strokes and, you know, making marks without worrying about perfection. Like there's a lot of some really nice, interesting textures and things in here that are very spontaneous, and, you know, they're not perfect. Like the values aren't spot on. Like it's a little bit dark here and there, and, you know, some of them work better than others, but it's good fun. So like these ones here, for example, were kind of like the preliminary sketches and the first sort of planning for like these types of paintings. So you can see how, if I sort of hold it up, you can see, you know, it's the same kind of feel. These colours are a little bit darker. I've sort of gone a bit brighter with the finished paintings, but that's where it's kind of, it's ended up there, but it's started with these. Started with all these really loose and, you know, loosey-goosey paintings. It only took maybe 20 minutes or so, and they just build up. What else do we have? Oh, there's these ones here as well. Again, this is just sort of playing around with colours. I taped these ones and made them a little bit neater because I'm thinking about maybe framing them and selling some of these little studies. These ones I sort of spent maybe a little bit more time on just being a bit more conscious about, you know, colour placement and stuff. That's why they look a little bit more fancy, because I might do, if I get enough of these little square ones, I might sell them as a series. That's why I've signed them. But yeah, I love painting on paper though. Like, it just, I don't know, it kind of takes the pressure off compared to painting on a canvas. I don't know, as soon as I have a canvas in front of me, suddenly I feel a lot of pressure to produce something that is, you know, hangable. Whereas painting on paper, I don't really have that pressure, because it's not precious to me. It's just a piece of paper. And so, yeah, if I don't end up really loving it, it doesn't matter. And so because of that, mentally, I feel as though I have a lot more freedom. It's a weird psychological thing that I do to myself. But yeah, this is my chaos. Welcome to my chaos. So, it's been about 2 weeks since I filmed that last little bit that you saw. So, since then, I've been away. We went out on our boat. I'm just going to put some footage of that in there, because I did do a little bit of painting while I was on the boat. So, I'll insert that footage in here. I may have mentioned here before, but this is our boat that we have. We take it out a few times each year. This is Port Welshpool. We've been here quite a few times. It's probably one of our favourite places to go. We were actually blessed this weekend with the most incredible weather. This isn't a lake, okay? I have to emphasise that. Being how still it is, you would think, oh, it must be a lake. No, this is a bay. This is the ocean. And it was dead calm, like incredibly calm. It was about 26 to 30 degrees Celsius, so it was beautiful and warm. We actually hopped in and swam a few times, and yeah, it was beautiful. So I did bring my sketchbook and some watercolours along with me, and I just, sat in the little cabin a few times painting away. So we do have this boat, we can sleep on it. So once we launch the boat in the water, we basically just stay out there for several days, pottering around to a few different locations. And unless the weather gets really bad, we don't really come back in again. So we just sit and enjoy, and it was lovely. So I took a few photos on the beach, and I did some sketches based off those photos. So this is some seaweed and shells that I did, and a few just quick sketches.
The sketchbook, I think it's a Stillman and Burn from memory. It's a sketchbook I took to Greece as well. I still haven't finished the sketchbook. It's still got quite a few pages left, but it's really nice to just sit and play with some paint with no pressure. I think my partner and his son were out on the dinghy trying to catch some squid at this point, so it was nice and quiet on the boat. It was just me and the breeze and, yeah, no distractions. And so I just spent some time creating some little sketches.
So there's something else exciting that has happened recently that has taken well over 12 months to come full circle. It's something that I've actually been keeping quiet for quite a while, but I am finally able to talk about it. It is a collaboration that I have done with Robert Kaufman Fabrics. So about, I'd say at least 18 months ago now, Robert Kaufman Fabrics contacted me through my licensing agency. So my licensing agency is Bright Art Licensing, and they contacted me through there and said that they wanted to collaborate with me to create a range of quilting fabrics. So naturally I was very excited about that and said heck yeah. So they went through my portfolio and selected about 30 different artworks that I had done in the past, and I gave them the high-res versions of those, like the high-res, what are they called? Digital versions of them. You know what I mean. Anyway, and with those, they gave it to their graphics team and manipulated them and created repeat patterns out of them and released them as quilting fabrics. And I was sent this box here from them just before Christmas actually, and I've had this hidden under my bed since then because I haven't been able to show anybody what's in this box until now. I had to wait until they were actually available to purchase before I started to show people. But the good news is they are now available to purchase. You can now go onto the Robert Kaufman website and order these fabrics. I'm not 100% sure if you can order, they sell direct to public or if it's a wholesale order only. You may need to go through your local craft shop and get them to order them in for you. Not 100% sure on that one, but I will add the link to the site where these fabrics can be found in the description, so you can look there. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this box and I'm going to take you through all the beautiful fabrics that I have available. First of all, let me clear some space. It's a bit chaotic in here at the moment with papers and whatnot. Oh, so this is basically a fat quarter sample of each of the fabrics that are available in the range. So they took some of my artworks, mostly my sort of semi-abstract artworks from quite a few years ago. And as I said, they sampled them and created repeat patterns for them. Now, I will warn you, this collection of fabrics is bright. It is not for the faint of heart. But you have to bear in mind as well that these are quilting fabrics. So quilting fabrics can be quite bold in colour because really you're only going to be using little sections of the fabrics to then piece together the quilt pattern. And so usually it's paired up with like lots of whites and neutral colours. And so these become the sort of pops of colours that you have in your quilt. But they're all 100% cotton. And I'm pretty sure there's... What is there? There are 26 different pattern designs. Okay, so there's a couple of these. I've sort of ruffled through these a bit, so they're a bit out of order. So let me just see. Hang on. If I can get them back into some kind of order. So firstly, there's a range of really small pattern fabrics. So this has got like a really nice, this is the same pattern here in a different colorway. These little tree leaf sort of patterns, nice and simple and small. Let me just make sure these are actually in the shot. There we go. So yeah, there's a couple of these in a few different colors. There's also a couple of, where can I put these where they're not going to get? I'll put them here because that's new. There's also a couple of the same design in spots for like, you know, accent pieces and things in a couple of different colorways. We have, just open this up, a beautiful, super bright repeat pattern of some of my abstract trees. Seeing these now, actually, I'm inspired. I want to do some more of these paintings again. I really haven't painted in this style for quite a while, many years really, because I kind of got burnt out and overwhelmed just doing the same thing over and over again. And I've really been pushing myself over the last 2 to 3 years to move into more of a impressionistic, loose style of painting rather than this up so you can see it a bit better. This has got like the dark sort of anyway, there's these these three actually. Again, the same pattern, just different colorways. So we have this one, which has like lots of beautiful purples, some pops of orange and some greens. This one is in the blue. This is probably one of my favorites as well. I'm a sucker for greens and blues really. So this is probably one of my favorites because of the colorway. And this one is also really pretty. And then we have, some more. Here we go. This is a pink version of those ones that I showed at the beginning. So this is like a really nice leafy pattern. And then we have four more just basic spots. Like these are like a really, really nice sort of to break up all that busyness. These are like more simplified spotty patterns. Again, I really love the colour in this one. That's the range. I am really, really excited to see that people start creating with these. So I've got to try and I'll get them back in the box nice and neat again now. I have made quite a few quilts in my life, and I am planning on making a quilt out of these. I just can't decide what to do, and I'm a little bit scared to cut into them because they're also like perfectly folded and nice and neat and fresh at the moment. I could probably make more than one quilt, to be honest, because like I said, I have a fat quarter of each of these, and I think if you made a quilt with every single pattern in one quilt, it would be very overwhelming. So I've probably got enough here to make quite a few quilts, to be honest. And I'm just trying to decide exactly what I make with like what design to do. Like I might do like a pinwheel or like a hexagon. I don't know. I can't decide. But that is what I've had hidden secret behind the scenes in the woodwork for the last, like I said, I think probably 18 months, to be honest. And so I'm really excited that I can actually finally show you and talk about it. So as I mentioned, these are available to purchase now directly through the Robert Kaufman website. I think it is, you can order directly from the website. If not, you might have to go through your local craft shop and get them to do a wholesale order for you. But you can definitely view all of the patterns, all of the designs, I should say, in the collection online. If you do buy them and you, sorry, hang on, let me flip the camera around. Okay, as I was saying, if you do end up buying them and making a quilt or making some craft object with it, please, please look me up on Instagram and tag me, because I want to see what this looks like in a quilt. Like, because it is such a bright palette, I'm myself as a crafter am a little overwhelmed with exactly how I would make something that's not like completely overwhelming with so much detail. And obviously you're gonna have to pair it with a lot of whites or maybe creams or black even in between the colored panels. So I don't know, I'm overwhelmed with the choices of what you can make with these. So I really want to see what everyone else is doing and what you all make out of it. So so yeah, that's all I really have to talk about this month. There really isn't any other news, I don't think, that I can think of. Here is some of the other artworks that I've been doing. I actually just listed these up on my website if you're interested in some pretty paper floral artworks. They're pretty, I like these. I haven't painted flowers in a little while actually, not since I last did a floral workshop, which was about a month or so ago now. And so I had a lot of fun doing these. And then a bigger one as well. That's probably my favourite actually out of them. Anyway, that's all I really have to talk about. So I hope that you are all well. I hope that you enjoyed watching my bits and pieces for this month, and I will see you all in my next video.